Hey guys, this is Cuthlick coming at you with episode 1 of the VGC Journal. This is a series I wanted to do detailing my beginnings of trying out the Pokemon VGC format all the way through to however far I go. I mean, if everything goes well, world champion eventually. But that's probably not going to happen, but it's good to have goals. I literally haven't played a game of the VGC format in my life, but after getting into shiny hunting lately and watching some of like Wolfie's videos and some of the invitationals, I really got that urge to start playing something competitive again. I used to be a semi-competitive Smash Bros. Player and played League of Legends here and there, but I actually lost vision in my right eye a couple months ago and haven't been able to play them, so I've been feeling that itch to get back into something competitive. So I watched some more videos, I decided to start my first team, and so the purpose of today's episode is going to be going through, talking about my team, why I picked what I did, and down the line I'm going to be taking you guys through every step of my journey, all the games I play, all the battles I do, anything I come up with, other teams I theory craft, changes to this team. This is going to be a complete journey from absolute beginner to probably just not sucking quite as bad as I did at the beginning. We'll see where it goes, but hopefully it takes off. If you guys like this type of idea and want to see me do more content, or you got comments for me, or want to see different type of stuff, please like this video and let me know down below, and subscribe. I'm going to try to aim for 2 or 3 videos in this series a week, and knowing you guys will support that will really help keep me going. But besides that, let's hop into my first team. So going into this team, I didn't have too much of an idea of what I wanted the core to be. I just knew I wanted a team that could counter some of the more popular strategies I'd seen on Twitch, on other videos, and stuff like that. The 2 main teams I was mostly worried about were rain teams and psychic spam teams. So as I'll detail in this team builder, I kind of have things that I want to check them. I wanted this team to be very modular. Instead of being great at one thing, it could kind of try to adapt at various situations. So first and foremost, I want to start off with Porygon 2. This Pokemon would be my Trick Room setter. Even though I'm not really a Trick Room team, I wanted to be able to counteract Trick Room teams as well as set up potentially my Alolan Marowak if I wanted to. I didn't want to have a team completely without speed control, so that's why I decided to put in Porygon 2. Not to mention, it's a great defensive mod. Between Recover and the Eviolite, it can absorb a whole bunch of damage and can do a lot for the team and just absorb stuff, maybe absorb a couple Dynamax turns from the opponent. So I put Eviolite on the Porygon 2, download as the obvious ability, put in Tri-Attack and Ice Beam. Ice Beam's in there for a couple reasons. One, to stop some maybe ground types, as well as stop Kingdra on rain teams, which is something I was a little worried about. Not to mention it's a good coverage move. Can also hit Togekiss and some of the grass types that are out there like Rilla Boom, Amoonguss, and G-Max Venusaur. So yeah, this is just going to be my tank, something to absorb damage and set up Trick Room or counter the opponent's Trick Room if I need it. Our second one is Togekiss. So Togekiss is in here for a couple reasons. The primary one is, once again, being against that Kingdra in rain teams. Having Dazzling Gleam to hit that is really important to me. Also hits fighting types, such as the new legendary fighting type dogs coming in. So Virizion and Terrakion being the main ones. Cobalion isn't as effective due to its steel typing. Also has Follow Me, which could let me set up some interesting stuff later, I have one particular combo I want to try. Try out at some point, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. Also has Air Slash with Super Luck and Scope Lens to maybe get some flinches off. Protect just as a follow move, or as a stalling move, basically, I guess I should say. So after that, I want to go into Urshifu. So I chose the Dark type Urshifu for a couple reasons. One, outside of its special defense, it's got some really good base stats. The dark typing is going to be very helpful in stopping Psychic Spam. There were a couple dark types I was looking at. Urshifu and Incineroar were the main 2. Also briefly looked at Crocodile. But I wanted something that could check the Psychic Spam and at least give my opponent something to worry about swapping into, as well as countering potential Indeedee and Alakazam leads. Again, something that could live it. Yes, it will have a little bit of trouble with Focus Blast from Alakazam, but I'm not horribly worried about it since it does have that fighting type and should take it neutrally. So Wicked Blow obviously does a lot. Close Combat, which is an amazing fighting type move. Protect. Sucker Punch, I'm not as sold on. I would like a priority move in case it is stuck in a Trick Room. But I also thought about something like Rock Slide so I can get that max Rockfall against something like a Togekiss. Again, I wanted this to be one of my physical sweepers. I think it could do that. So let's move on to Alolan Marowak. So Alolan Marowak is one I wanted to team with Porygon 2, give me a small but potent Trick Room setup. Flare Blitz, again, I want to be able to cover things like Excadrill, the bulky and even not so bulky grass types that are introduced. So once again, the Rilla Boom, the Amoonguss, and the G-Max Venusaur. Also gives me a little bit of something against Ludicolo, although I obviously don't want to be using this thing against rain teams. Flare Blitz, again, great move. Hits hard. The recoil's worth it, especially with the Thick Club. Protect, just in case I need to stall out a turn. Poltergeist, an amazing move. I have a little bit of anti-synergy with Poltergeist and my Rillaboom that I'm running knockoff, but that shouldn't be hard to keep track of. And Boomerang just for some coverage on a couple things. So again, we have Thick Club as just to power up our attack stat. We have HP and attack, and just 4 in special defense. The minus speed to, again, coordinate with our Trick Room setup. But again, if I can get this guy into Trick Room, it could do a lot of work. Even outside of Trick Room, it won't have priority, but could still do a lot of work and be another physical sweeper. So something else I threw in here was Volcarona. Volcarona seems to have a lot of potential. And Bug Counter is super effective against Psychic. So between Rage Powder, I put Rage Powder in here as a utility move. In case I just need it to draw aggro for something else to sweep, say Urshifu or Marowak. Quiver Dance is also a potent threat, so if I do something like Togekiss and Volcarona lead, I can do Follow Me into Quiver Dance, and that could do a lot of damage. Heat Wave also covers a lot of things, and Bug Buzz being super effective against the Dark types and the Psychic types will do a lot of work and is a pretty big threat, I think. I put a Life Orb just so I can do even more work. But this is a set I will probably change around in the future, but it has a lot of potential. The Pokemon itself does, I believe. I could also look at dropping Rage Powder at some point and putting in some sort of flying type move for Max Airstream. But this is my special attacker that I want to run into a lot of things. I'm honestly most excited about this Pokemon. I really like the idea of it, and yeah, I think it has a lot of potential, and I'm really looking forward to using it. Just Heat Wave and being able to use a bug type, I think, is really cool. And the final one to round this out is Rillaboom. Rillaboom is our Assault Vest user, gives us Grassy Surge, which we don't take advantage of too much outside of Grassy Glide. It's also a Fake Out user for us. With U-Turn so we can get something in, and Knock Off to get rid of anything annoying, but it's also a Dark type move to counter those Psychic teams. So this is just kind of a utility mon, gives us grass typing for, like, grass type moves for any bulky water types we come across, which we don't do too much against right now. Like if I'm facing a rain team, I'm almost locked into Porygon 2, Togekiss, Urshifu, and Rillaboom. I could bring Porygon 2 and Alolan Marowak if I really wanted to, just so I have a Trick Room. But against rain teams, obviously Marowak and Volcarona aren't obviously my first choices. So this just kind of gives me a little bit of utility, a little bit of bulk with the Assault Vest, and some tempo with the U-Turn. So a couple other mons I was looking at for this team was the Terrakion. If I put in Terrakion, I'd probably take out Urshifu. That also helps us cover flying types and Togekiss a little better with just rock type moves. I also looked at Amoonguss or G-Max Venusaur, again to counter out the rain teams a little bit harder. Just putting in some stalling with the Amoonguss, which again is a very solid mon. Porygon 2 and Amoonguss would be a very solid front line. I'm just not sure how much I'd actually be able to kill with that, but be able to choose between the two of them would be very helpful. And G-Max Venusaur and the Rillaboom, I feel like could put in a lot of work. So that's my initial team. we'll see how it goes. I'm not particularly, like, I haven't done calcs. These are just sets I thought would work well together. Again, I haven't played a single game of VGC in my life, so this is just my initial thoughts. The next episode will be my initial games and feedback from them. But again, hopefully you guys enjoyed this type of series, going from a complete beginner into hopefully something a little more experienced than that. If you guys have suggestions for the series or want to check it out or talk about it on stream, I'll put that link in the description. And be sure to subscribe so you see the hopefully multiple times a week upload, and give it a like so other people can see it, and I know this is what you guys want to see. But other than that, thank you very much, and hopefully everyone sticks around for the journey. Take care, guys.